From LALATE News Headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning here on Mornings LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 as more Democrats step forward to say you deserve a monthly stimulus check. We'll go over that monthly stimulus check and why the Democrats are working 7 days a week to make sure it comes to you and that it's monthly. Then we cut to the deliciousness of the fourth stimulus recon. And there's so much money in there. It's money like we've never seen. I'll go over all the incredible details about this recon and its big payout for you. Then we cut to the breaking details as Janet Yellen, Ron Klain, Ron Wyden, Bernie, and Chuck all talk about the recon. I'll have all their comments and more. And then we meet one viewer who shows us that, guess what? There's a fortune for you to get right now, today. And I don't mean a few $100s. I mean upwards of $40,000, $80,000 for you to get it right now. It's third stimulus, and it's available for you, and it's looking for you. Are you looking for it? I'm going to show you how to be looking for that big, bold, beautiful money. And it starts right now as the toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, and the coffee is brewing on Mornings LALATE. Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day here in Santa Monica. The weather is gorgeous along the coast. It's a little bit less muggy, but still a little bit humid at the moment because it is September. Jump in the live chat and tell me where you're tuning in from and how the weather is. Guess what? More Democrats stepping forward to say you need a monthly stimulus check and it needs to be deliciousness. I'll go over the breaking news about this as well. Then we go to the tow hitch. Because guess what? The tow truck has passed over the finish line, and the tow hitch is right there. OMG. The Democrats have been working tooth and nail to get this done. I have all the deliciousness of that and well. Then we cut to fifth stimulus. I have seen the reports about doing fifth stimulus into fourth stimulus. I have that details coming up as well. And then finally, the big money that people are getting right now. It's a day for you to get this money because guess what? The weekend's coming around and you deserve $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $80,000, even $100,000. I'll show you how you get this big money. And this is LALATE, America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America. Live in the morning, taped in the afternoons. Coming up next is Mornings Crypto at 10 a.m. Then noontime at 11 a.m. A lot of breaking news coming up at that 11 o'clock broadcast, so stay with me. And boy, we're going to have a lot of fun, a lot of information, a lot of breaking news in this video. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Let's do 200 new subscribers today. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member so you learn about all the deliciousness of this big money available for you. And boy, if you haven't signed up for those LALATE alerts, what are you doing? When you hit up those LALATE alerts, it'll send you an alert when there's bacon available. Which will never happen, I guess, apparently. It's right here. It's at news.la.com. Put your name and email address in there, and then you get that confirmation email. Watch for it. Hit that confirmation blue button, and you're ready to rock and roll, and you have that confirmation email. And let's cut to those monthly stimulus checks. House versus Senate, Senate versus House. I think you have an opinion. But first, let's go over who wants to give you what. House Ways and Means wants you to have a monthly fourth stimulus check. Then we have the American petition, of course, signed by you Americans, nearly 4 million signatures. Then we have the House bill, Pandemic Plus 1 year, $1,000 a month. We have AOC and Omar calling for a monthly at $2,000. And then we have Warren, Wyden, and Sanders calling a monthly for a monthly stimulus check on the Senate side. Vote House or Senate. House or Senate, tell me where you're tuning in from and how the weather is where you are. and how you're doing as well. What are your plans for the weekend as well? Jump in the live chat. I want to see what your plans are. Who gets this fourth stimulus check? You do. Democrats represent that. If you got third stimulus check, you're getting a fourth. Single individual, 75,000 or less, you're getting one. Married couple, 150,000 or less, Democrats represent, you get one. Double it. Family of four, Democrats represent, you get a fourth stimulus check. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security Railroad benefits, Democrats represent, you get a fourth stimulus check as well. The fourth stimulus check is not income. It's not taxable. And the fourth stimulus check is the same amount for everyone, including adult dependents. Finally, the fourth stimulus check is a monthly check. It's not a waivable check. So if you are at the beach and the check walks up to you and starts waving, it's not that check. It's another check. It's the German check on vacation. And if it kisses you on two cheeks, it's the Italian check. Very, very friendly. And there we go. But guess what? All the Democrats are talking about these monthly stimulus checks. They're all talking about it. We have House members, we have senators. Everyone's talking about a fourth stimulus check and monthly. And they're working tooth and nail for it. They've been spending all last week, 7 days of last week and last weekend, going over the details of this. So who wants you to think you're not getting a fourth stimulus check? Introducing her. Yeah, she's Freedom Frida. Freedom of speech for fake facts. She wants you to think that Democrats are in the South Pacific driving Bentleys and listening to Liberace. They're not. They're in D.C. and they are working tooth and nail to get this done for you. In the third part of this video, we'll go over the world exclusive as the #1 guy on the #1 committee wants you to have an MSC, and guess what? His numbers are great. And we'll go over more about the people who want you to have this monthly stimulus check. But guess what? The tow truck has passed over the finish line, and the tow hitch is right in front of the finish line. What? Yes, I'll have all the incredible details of this in the second half of this video. It's getting really great news. But first, let's get some money. Let's get some money because you deserve it. I had another Frida in the overnight chat comment. She said, there's no money for food and there's no money for homelessness. No, there's a lot of it, and it's available right now, and it's under third stimulus. Get a pen paper ready, because if you have a pen, paper, and you have a phone, you can get upwards of $100,000 under third stimulus right now, this week. This is real, and this is lots of money. We can get some rent, utilities, mortgages as homeowners, utilities, food, and more items right now because this is your money. I'm going to show you how to get this money, and it pays you a lot. Would you like $50,000 by the weekend? I think you would. Our inspiration starts with Johnny. Johnny's a viewer, Purple Hawk. Are you a member? Become a member. The link's under the video. He is a member, and 2 weeks ago, he started the week at $0. And by the middle of the week, he and two other viewers were at $40,000 that they got from this channel for rent, for utilities, for mortgage assistance. He picked up the phone. He called. He got it. He got it himself. But by the end of the weekend, he did not stop at 3 items. He got 4 more, bringing his grand total to 7 items. He made 7 phone calls, 7 items, and he got $80,000. You can do this as well. He got $80,000. Guess what? He didn't stop at that because the entire Purple Power Spirit is helping other people. The next week, he turned around and told his friends and families about this channel. He said, hey, guess what? I just got $80,000 from LALATE, and now I want you to get this money as well. They said, is that game show? Is that game show where you have to wear those tacky shirts and wear something on your hair? No, it's not a game show. It's a YouTube channel. You got to get this money. And the friends and family got it. $100,000 in the next 5 days thereafter. Let's go over the incredible details because guess what? This is not a rare circumstance. It's happening every day, and it's going to happen to you today. I know it is. Johnny got $12,000 for SNAP. He got $10,000 for EIDL. He got $2,000 for taxes. He got $21,000 for rent, then turned around and got another $25,000 for rent. He got $9,000 for utilities, and then he got $50 a month for phone and internet, bringing his grand total to $80,000. That was him in less than 5 days. Then he turned around, told his friend and family, watch this channel. And they got $100,000 in 5 days. 5 days. This is you. He said, hey, just LA, as I've told you, I've been helping people. I helped 5 friends save their homes and put food on their table. And 3 family members thought it wasn't going to happen till they got it. And they really got it. 2 family members got $41,500. The other one got $57,600. You, LA, have been awesome to help people stop stressing about their bills. Your channel has helped others and myself tremendously. You're such a godsend, LA. Purple Power, Purple Hawk. Thank you, Johnny, for those kind words. Let's go over this big money because you're going to get this big money right now because it's available for you. This is money right now. Money you can get. Financial independence is what this channel is about, and that's what Johnny is talking about. Let's first turn to the rent. The rent the viewers are getting from this channel, over $20,000, upwards of $27,000 for rent. And guess what? This is September. Who is she? She's Calendar Colleen. It's September. And guess what? Because it's September, you need to start getting this money right now. You want this rent paid all the way to the spring because we're going into those winter months. I don't want you to be worried about your rent. I don't want you to be worried about your food. I want it all being cared for and taken care of. And let's look at the big money for rent that viewers are getting. Look at these numbers. $27,000 for rent. You can get this money, and I'll show you how in 1 second. Utilities. Johnny got $9,000 because the number's going bigger and bolder every day. Then SNAP, which is money for food. You're never going to go hungry on this channel. There's money for food like you have never seen in the history of this channel. And you're going to meet someone in a second who's getting $25,000 annualized. You're never going to get hungry. You're never going to worry about your rent. You're never going to worry about your utilities because you found LALATE. And then 3 items. Yes, Mark, Nisi, and Nancy. Nancy getting 3 items at $32,000. But Mark got 2 items at $32,000, and he brings us 2 updates. The second one I'm going to deliver to you this weekend. The first one right now. 4 wonderful details about Mark. First, he got 2 items, renting utilities at $32,000. But I said to Mark, get SNAP because it's very easy to get it. And in less than 5 days, he got it, number 1. Number 2, he did the same thing Johnny did. He told a friend and family about this channel. And that friend went from $0 to $21,000 of rent in less than 5 days. $21,000. I think you want $21,000. Get this money. I'm going to show you how in 1 second. Number 3, he did not stop at 3 items because he kept on pushing, and he's now getting more items. And finally, number 4, he got that money for SNAP. He got that money for SNAP, bringing him $19,000 for SNAP and his grand total on this channel to $50,500. And that's where he is right now. You're going to see the update about Mark's numbers this weekend. But look at Mark at $50,500, and the sky's the limit because guess what? Another viewer, Lorraine, got $105,000, and you can do this as well because there's no place like this, and this is LA. You deserve this money. You get this money. This is your money. I've been getting people money on this channel since day one. This is not a kid that stands in front of a blank backdrop and reads a script. No, 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 no. This is about me getting you money. And I started getting people money the day this channel launched. In fact, that's why this channel launched. People had applied for that EID loan and grant. They were not getting approved. Their applications were stuck. I singularly helped get their applications approved. Bombshell. One after another, out of that 330, that 331, that 484 text, getting them $25 million of EID loans approved, saving their businesses, their homes, and their employees' homes. 3 days later, a whole other group. They were the unemployed people. They needed help. A very confusing new application was going live in just a few states. It was called PUA. People didn't understand it because it was brand new and it was very confusing. I helped get people that money, like Eileen Bellicamp out of Florida, $15,000. Then, in December of 2020, same issue as right now. You need money. There's no stimulus check yet landing. And I got viewers $250,000 of rent, saving their homes and everything across the board, like Tyrone, his family of 4 out of Boston, getting $15,000. So, today's your day. We're going to do it right now. Are you ready? We're doing it, you and me, right now. You just need 4 things: pen, paper, attention, and your cell phone. And that's it. And you're going to start getting this sum of money. If I go too fast, replay the video. You can toggle the screen underneath there. First, here's some introductory remarks. I'm going to show you different places to reach out to. If one says no, reach out to the next. They have different eligibility. They have different pots of money. Also, I'm going to show you 6 places. Reach out to all 6. Don't stop at one level. Reach out to all 6. Next, every state has money. Also, listen to the keywords I say in this video. All right, you ready? Here we go. You're going to get some rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, SNAP, and more. I'm going to go through each of them at a time. And these are the places you're going to reach out to for that rent and utilities. Your city hall, your city house authority. That's 2. Your county hall, your county house authority. That's 4. And your state hall and your state house authority. That's 6. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID. Rent or mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. If you have multiple utility companies, you reach out to all of your utility companies and say the same thing. Utility assistance because of COVID. And there you go. You got this. I know you can do it. This is the first group of money, and I know you can get it. And if you got it, post it in the live chat right now. Be that inspiration for other people. Congratulations, Tim and Linda, who got this wonderful pot of money for rent and utilities. The next pot of the money is Snap. You're never going to go hungry on this channel, ever, because I'm showing people how to get big money for Snap. Snap's eligibility is a Snap. If you got a third stimulus check, you're getting Snap. Eligibility is even easier. Pick up the phone and call Department of Agriculture. That's where you get Snap. It pays a fortune. It pays instantly. And how much is you getting? Well, Lynn Glenn got it for herself and her son and mom. Gail got it as well. And you met Mark, who was getting $19,000 annualized. But guess what? Mark is now going to get $25,000 annualized lifetime because of my recordings. Why? Because Department of Agriculture 2 weeks ago announced that everyone's benefits are going up lifetime automatically, an average of 25% nationwide starting in October. Oh my goodness, it's incredible, great news. And there you go. If you got Snap as well, post the live chat right now. The next part of the money is the money coming back from your state due to overpayment of unemployment benefits and computer error. Viewers are getting anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 for this. This is landing direct deposit. And the last pot of the money is the refund check coming back from unemployment benefits that you pay taxes on in that 2020 taxes return. Average refund is about $1,200 to $2,000. Margaret got it, Cod got it, Michael got it. More about that second. But here's a personal message from me to you. I launched this channel to help people. At any moment, the chat and the communication, the comments should be, God bless you. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Always keep a positive, informed, and optimistic spirit. Moreover, if you're in the live chat right now, post your success stories that you got. Any money you got, whether it's $100 or $10 that you got for rent, utilities, food, or internet, because you inspire people. Everyone qualifies for this money on the third stimulus. You don't need to be financially dependent upon the federal government because this money is available and it's a lot of it, upwards of $100,000. You need that inspiration to pick up the phone, call, and get that money today. Start getting the money today, upwards of 7 items or more. So post a success story. Second, we see the numbers are going bigger and bolder. Third, we're seeing you need to get multiple items, starting with Art Sullivan and Nisi. And finally, we realize this money is real. It's now. This is September. I want you to get your rent covered for many, many months. I want your food to get covered for several, many months, so you never have to worry about electric or water or gas or rent or food, and you're going to be ready and financially independent going into the winter months. And with that, let's come back to those unemployment benefits. Direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. Can you track it? Yeah, go to irs.gov and do a transcript search. And 70% of the time, we will reveal the tax return you're getting back and stuff you never wanted to see, like Nancy's hair color style number. I just don't want to see that. Can we top that? Yes. As we go into the second part of this video, starting right now, deal done, signed, sealed. Your fourth stimulus recon is a done deal because the tow truck has passed over the finish line. Incredible, great news. And guess what? The tow hitch is right at the edge of the finish line. 2 weeks ago, the tow truck passed over the finish line. The recon procedure will pass. There's going to be a recon now, $3.5 trillion, all checks for the American people. This is the biggest recon we've ever seen in the history of this channel, bigger than anything before. Those previous stimulus recons, small and mostly for corporations. This is all for you, all checks for you. And everyone wants to give you those checks for you. Freedom Frida, with her fake facts, is in the comments. She's floating around with her wads of cash in her hands. And what do they want? What does she want to say? She wants to say things like Democrats are dragging their feet. They're not doing anything. I haven't heard anything. Guess what? They're working their bones off. They are working 7 days a week and weekends, confirms Ron Wyden, the chief of staff to the president, Ron Klain, Bernie, Chuck, and also even Janet Yellen. They worked all week long, to get this recon procedure, substantive, to the finish line. And it's at the edge of the finish line. More about that in a second. So how did we get to this spot? We got to the spot by taking roads and bridges out of the recon and putting in something called the bipartisan that made the recon passable. Let's go over the background on this. A conservative publication confirms our reporting. The higher the price tag was on the recon originally, the harder it was to pass. But by allowing the Democrats to take out some of the spending from the recon and put in the bipartisan, the roads and bridges, the overall price tag of the recon got smaller. In other words, the bipartisan deal made the recon passable. In the month of June and July, I had told you that the recon was passed, even though there was no vote. How did I know that? Because they had met the Democrats, House and Senate. They don't need any Republicans because of the recon. And they'd agreed that there will be a recon and that the price tag will be 3.5 trillion and it'll be all checks for the American people. That's why going into those meetings, Representative Ilhan Omar and Representative Richie Torres, Democrats, progressives, had said, we need a recon that goes as big as bold as we want it, and we need a larger recon. And that's why once everyone agreed upon it, that the president said, protect my recon, it's all checks for the American people, progressive checks, progressive priorities of the White House. That's what Schatz and Jolopal said. So that once they had agreed upon the recon, it was a done deal. They just had to call the vote. And the vote happened 2 weeks ago, and it was a done deal. It was like a ceremonial vote. So what you need to understand is how Democrats legislate with Democrats. The recon is just Democrats with Democrats. No Republicans are involved. The way Democrats legislate is they verbally agree to what they're doing first. And once they verbally agree, that's done. We're done. Guess what? They're at the cusp of the verbal agreement right now, they report. So the tow hitch is really at the edge of the finish line. The verbal agreement is the agreement. Once they have that verbal agreement, then they reduce it to a writing, which is a bill, but that's after they already have the verbal agreement. The verbal agreement is the finish line. Once you have the verbal agreement, you're over the finish line. Once they write to a bill vote, they've already passed over the finish line. It's just confirming what they've already agreed upon. And once they call the vote on the bill, well, that's just confirming what they've already agreed upon. The cusp of the finish line is right in front of us. Let's go over all this exciting, great news right now with that recon versus bipartisan, understand the difference of the two items and understand what is going on. We have two paths. Recon, also called reconciliation, also called budget bill. Price tag, 3.5 trillion, also called the Democrats' spending plan or social reform plan. Bipartisan, not your money, 1.5 trillion, also called roads and bridges. We got that tow truck over the finish line 2 weeks ago, recon procedural. Now the tow hitch is at the edge of the finish line. It is recon substantive. What is the difference between the two items? Let's go over it. Recon procedural basically says, are we doing this? We are. We're doing a recon and the price tag is 3.5. Watch that word committees. I'm coming back to it in the final 15 minutes of the video. And then recon substantive basically says, hey, okay, now that we have the money in the committees, how are they going to spend the money? Really on the edge of the finish line. Ron Klain, the chief of staff to the president, said, we worked all last week. Ron Wyden, the senator, said, we worked all last week. Bernie Sanders and Chuck Schumer confirmed they're talking 4 to 5 times a day, making changes on what they want to do in this recon. When you have these meetings, the way they do it is they go have a cup of coffee, walk down to the other colleague's office, have a walk, talk on the phone. That's how they get it done. I know in the universe of the digital media, we love to see watching them do this, but there's no way for us to watch them doing this. They're doing this recon, and they're doing this around the clock 7 days a week. They are working tooth and nail to get this done. And while you're not in that room when they're having the conversation, this is where the formal agreement is getting formulated. We got a 5,000 to 8,000 page agreement they got to verbally, orally agree upon first, and they are getting it done. Now, how do we get to this wonderful spot? We got this wonderful spot from Jolopal, who recently wrote a letter saying, check all the vote on the recon. The letter was signed by 12 House Democrats, part of 100-plus House Democrats, who recently wrote the president a letter saying, we're going to be giving you monthly forced stimulus checks. Wow. Can we top that? Yes. As 7 members of that House Ways and Means Committee, the one that actually writes the recon, recently wrote the president a letter saying, we're going to be putting monthly forced stimulus checks in the forced stimulus recon. Oh, my goodness. Now, understand that Frida, and her fake facts simply wants to say Democrats aren't doing anything, Democrats are out of town, and Democrats are dragging their feet, Democrats aren't giving you stimulus. Untrue, Frida. Get the dollar bills out of the ears. You're not listening. She has those. There they are. They're in her ears as well. Well, guess what? Every Democrat is talking about those monthly stimulus checks. AOC Omar, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, the House bill signed by 100-plus House Democrats. The House Ways and Means Committee, my goodness, can we top that? Yes, we can. As the president did it. In fact, Ron Klain spoke about this just a day or so ago. The president got the global minimum corporate tax rate out of the recon, making the recon easier to call for a vote, and also to pay for the recon. The recon is not paid for by raising the national debt. It's paid for by taxing corporations that are not paying their share of taxes in the country. 55 corporations have been identified by the presidency as not paying anything, but making billions of dollars a year in revenue. And that's what's going to pay for your forced stimulus recon. Can we top that? Yes. As we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, we'll be going over the exciting details of the world exclusive with the #1 guy who wants you to have a mumbly stimulus check, why his numbers are absolutely incredible, what the other Democrats are talking about with these MSCs. We're going to go over the other items in this recon deliciousness. And then I'm going to go over what I have been hearing. I know you've been seeing it as well. Talk about putting SSI reform from fist stimulus back into forced stimulus. I'll be talking about that as well. And that and more. But first, here's a personal message from me to you. I want you to get that pen and paper and that phone in front of you and call today. Call for utilities. Call every utility company you got. Call for the rent. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, State House Authority. Call for the SNAP. I want you to get this money today because it's real. It's September. I want you to get this money right now so you have that financial independence, and you're going to feel so good when you get it. I do not, repeat, do not want you to reach out to the volunteers and say, do everything for me. You know why? Because you're not going to know what to do when forced stimulus happens. Forced stimulus is a lot about picking up the phone and saying, hey, I want that money. Instead of saying SNAP, you'll be asking for something else. If you need to get that comfort level of picking up that phone and calling and getting that money right today for these items. Do not be jumping right to the community page and sending a message. Rather jump to the phone and grab that phone and start calling right today. But after you get those other items, if you can't get the remainder of them, if you can't get all 7, if you can only get 2 or 3, then reach out to the volunteers to have them help get the other sums of money that you can't get. Here's a little bit about the community page. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds with the big, exciting, great news as Mornings LA continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Mornings LALATE. The toast is toasted, the butter is buttered, the coffee's brewing, and the bacon's missing. I mean, good Lord. Can we ever get some bacon here? Come on now. In the second half of this video, we'll go over the deliciousness, missing the bacon, of the forced stimulus recon, what the MSCs look like from the #1 guy in D.C. It's a world exclusive you're only going to hear on this channel. We'll be cutting to the big money that's available under forced stimulus. And then I'll be addressing this talk about this stimulus and forced stimulus. I heard it, and I know what you've been seeing. We'll be talking a little bit about that as well. So much coming up, so much deliciousness, so much great breaking news, and so much new news, and so much wonderful fun. It's Mornings LA. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers on YouTube. Recognize what you're part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Coming up next is Mornings Crypto at 10 a.m., then noontime at 11 a.m. Then we're back at 1 o'clock with afternoons, 3 o'clock at afternoon, and then 5 o'clock with evenings. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Meantime, sign up for those alerts if you haven't. Let's cut into the confusion of what's going on with this stimulus and forced stimulus. I've seen the reports. There are some reports that talk about that there's some people wanting to put fifth stimulus SSI reform into fourth stimulus. All I can say, and then they ran a quote where Biden sort of likes it. I got it. All I can say is it's a little bit different than the fifth stimulus I'm talking about, which is a big overhaul of the entire system. They're talking about just some extra cash payments. So I'm going to keep the subject matters different and separated. You'll see that the scope of this coverage is a lot more reform, overhaul of the system, not just some checks here and there. So step one, they'll raise your benefits up a lifetime. Then they'll remove the asset limits. This is fifth stimulus. And then then apply the inflationary benchmark. Remove the income exclusion and remove the marriage penalty. So there you go. You see how this is sort of an overall massive ramping up and change of the industry. How does this work? Step one is they're going to raise your benefits up if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and railroad benefits. Then they're going to apply a new benchmark. The new benchmark is inflation. That benchmark will be going high. Inflation is going high as the Central Bank of Europe is meeting this week to deal with tapering. Federal Reserve is talking about tapering in December. Everyone's worried about inflation. Well, I'm saying that maybe going to a transitory spike of about 5% in December. Let's do the analysis. First, they'll raise your benefits up a lifetime. This is you if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits. Then they'll apply a new benchmark. The new benchmark, inflation. And if it's 5%, you'll go up another 5% lifetime. Yes, because once your benefits go up, they never go down. Then they're going to remove the asset cap dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't have more than $3,000 in hand. They're going to remove the income cap, a 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to go away. And love is going to win, and you'll be able to do a pair dance at your own wedding and no longer fear loss of benefits. Will there be a fifth stimulus check? There will be. The House Ways and Means Committee represent it will be next year. And then finally, if you haven't become a Purple Hawk, what are you doing? Become a member. The link to become a member is underneath this video. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Members are delivered daily from me to you a breakdown of all the big money that's available under third stimulus. Here's what you need to understand. Is that when I came on the scene in April of last year, I saw a lot of people saying the following things. I need that second stimulus check to come from Nancy, or I'm not going to be able to fix my car, and I need it right now in May. That's what I call financial dependence. You're dependent upon the event occurring. There was no second stimulus check. It never came in May of last year. So people had set themselves up for an event that they were financially dependent upon. I said, we're not doing that. We're not doing that with this channel. We're getting big sums of money that are available right now. And you see what Johnny talked about, which is that financial independence. I want you to get all this big money for rent and utilities. I want all your utilities bills paid. I want all your rent paid from as many months into next year to cover you through the winter months so that you have all that financial independence now covering you into next year. I want you to get all this money for food so that you have this money for food covered. As I told you earlier in this video, Frida jumped in the comments and said there's no money for homeless people and for food. People are going hungry and they're homeless. I'm getting people money for food, and there's also money for homeless people for rent as well. The volunteers can help you as well for that as well. So what's important to understand is that this money is available right now. Daily members are delivered from me via the YouTube and LALATE alert system, a breakdown of all the big money available under third stimulus, so that you can pick up the phone and call today and get this money and get that financial independence. Go into the weekend like Johnny did at $80,000 after starting the week at $0. Do that phone call today. Pick up the phone and get that money. And with that, we go into the final 15 minutes of this video with the fourth stimulus recon starting right now. Deal done, signed, sealed. A fourth stimulus recon tow truck has passed over the finish line. There will be a recon. It will be $3.5 trillion. It will be the biggest payout we've ever seen in the history of this channel. It will all be for the American people, nothing for corporations, unlike previous recons. It will be bigger than the previous ones. and it'll all be checks. The Democrats have been working 7 days a week, all week long, last weekend and weekend, going over what's called the recon substantive, the deal terms of that recon, having those meetings to get the agreement on what could ultimately be an 8,000-page bill. A lot of work to be done. Now, what's important to understand is that early in this video, I showed you the graphic where I said committees. I said I'm going to come back to it. I'm coming back to it right now. The recon bread and butter before we get to MSC will have money in committees, and that money will be there for you to pick up the phone and get it. Why is it not coming from IRS? Because IRS has no database that knows anything about this and you. Some of the items are things like rent, are money for internet, dental, vision. IRS doesn't have a database that tells them you need money for dental or vision. Here are some of the examples of some of the money that is in this fourth stimulus recon proposed. Free school meals for all, checks. Tax break checks. Cheaper prescription medication checks. Checks for free internet. Checks for farmers. Checks for workers like independent contractors, checks for seniors like checks for dental, checks for vision, checks for hearing care. Lots of checks. Incredible great news. The way you get them, pick up the phone and call. You've been doing this since day one on this channel. You've been picking up the phone and calling and getting all this big money under the first, second, and third stimulus. It's what I call application based. It doesn't mean you fill out an application. It means you pick up the phone and call. Because guess what? That's where the committees have those monies, massive sums of monies. And viewers like Johnny, who picked up the phone and called 7 places to get 7 items, is an example of what happens under fourth stimulus. Fourth stimulus will have lots of wonderful, wonderful, great checks for you. Great big checks, all of different kinds. And you're going to be shown on this channel how to pick up the phone and call and get those checks in those different places. Who's not going to be doing well under fourth stimulus recon? You know the answer. Her name is Donetta, or Donut Girl, or Donut Guy. People who think that things just automatically come in the bank account. As to these items, no, because there's no way for them to know you need these items unless you tell them. And telling them is not a particularly difficult chore. Also, any donut person who says, I should only receive automatic things, I shouldn't have to do anything, well, that's what this recon is. And you can do it. And I have big confidence in you as well. And that's why third stimulus is so important. Now, let's cut to those MSCs. MSCs, monthly stimulus checks, checks that would come from IRS that you wouldn't have to do any application for. Let's go over them right now. Democrat after Democrat after Democrat, House and Senate want to give you an MSC. They all say it on the record. They all say it in bill format. Monthly stimulus check, all different amounts they propose. But ultimately, it's all about pushing. And 4 weeks ago, I told viewers of this channel, pick up the phone and call your Democratic senator. Not a lot did. And I said, push and say, I need a stimulus check. I'll tell you why. That's what I call advocacy. That's what I call purple power push. Picking up the phone and being respectful and pushing. And one viewer did that. His name is WR. You might see him in the live chat today. And he picked up the phone and called Senator Chris Coons, Democrat, Delaware, Biden's oldest confidant. Spoke to a staffer and said, I want to talk to you about why I think I need a monthly stimulus check, why the American people need a monthly stimulus check. And the response was yes. Senator Chris Coons was already preparing to put a monthly stimulus check in the fourth stimulus recon. Wow, incredible great news. That is purple power push. That is purple power push, advocating for something you need. Not purple power push is asking, when is it in my bank account? Being just sort of questioning when, whatever happened in July and August. It's September, whatever happened, whatever happened. No, that's not purple power. Purple power is saying, I need it. We need it. This is what the American people need. Advocating for what you need. Well, guess who wants you to advocate for it? The fourth stimulus recon, the full name is fourth stimulus recon budget bill. And the number one committee for that budget bill is the Senate Budget Committee. And the chairman of that budget committee is Bernie Sanders. And what did he say 2 weeks ago? The prior budget chairman sort of did their thing within D.C., but I like to get out amongst the people. I immediately said that means he wants to hear from you. He wants to hear from you what you think you should advocate for under fourth stimulus recon. And I said, make the phone call. Not a lot of people did initially. Lynn Glenn did, and Brother Joshua, longtime viewer from 2020, volunteer for the community page and longtime viewer, picked up the phone, called Senator Bernie Sanders' office in D.C. professionally, respectfully. And he said, I want to talk to you about the importance of a monthly stimulus check. The staffer said Senator Bernie Sanders is proposing a monthly forced stimulus check in the forced stimulus recon. Wow, world exclusive right there. Pick up the phone and be an advocate, and you'll get a response. He got a response, Brother Joshua. Let's go over the incredible details of the deal terms starting right now. Proposal number 1, recon monthly stimulus check. So monthly, yes. The amount, $1,000 to $1,400 a month proposed. Yes, great news. Number 2, duration, yes. How long? 3 to 6 months. Awesome. Really great news. Catch, yes. Bernie Sanders says he needs to see that the American people have his back. We got this, Purple Power. You got his back. We've been advocating for stuff since day one. That's the Purple Power push. I created Purple Power. I created the push of economic advocacy, arguing for stuff that is yours, being an advocate, picking up the phone and advocating. Pick up the phone and call Elizabeth Warren, call Bernie Sanders, call Chuck Schumer, call AOC, call Ron Wyden. Say, you know what? This is my name. And we need a monthly stimulus check. Be professional, respectful, and kind. Explain to them why you need a monthly stimulus check, why your town needs it, why your community, what you see. Give an anecdote. Explain what's going on in the town so they hear, yeah, now I see. I really understand why the importance of this. The numbers are great. The House bill is $1,000 a month, but it takes 12 months to get $13,000. Bernie's numbers on the high end, about $9,000, but only in 6 months. They're great numbers. Meantime, let's circle back one more time. Range of options. It's important to understand that as we sit here in September, there's a lot of money for you to get, a fortune for you to get. Start this weekend by picking up the phone and calling all your utility companies. All the 6 places I told you in this video: City Hall, City House Authority; County Hall, County House Authority; State Hall, State House Authority. Call all of them and ask for rent assistance because of COVID, mortgage and utility assistance because of COVID. Pick up the phone and call Department of Agriculture. Get that SNAP. Get as many items. I want you to come back and say next week, I got 3 items. I got 4 items. I got 6 items. Look at what I did. I did the same thing as everyone else. I got $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, $100,000. Thank you, LALATE. You gave me financial independence. You can do it. I know you can. Pick up the phone and call today and start getting these big sums of money so that when we go into forced stimulus, you're going to say, yeah, but I already got my rent paid. I already got my utilities paid. I am ready and rock and roll. I've covered all that rent to next year. I covered all those utilities to next year. I got my food paying, $500 a month. We are ready to rock and roll, and you're going to have that financial independence. And I look forward to seeing you next on Mornings Crypto. It's at 10 a.m. coming up in just 5 minutes from now. Then at 11 a.m. is noontime. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers on YouTube record. I want you part of this wonderful family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes. And consider becoming kind and respectful and polite to other people. Just tell them God bless. Tell them have a beautiful day. Always talk positive. Always talk informed. Always talk inspirational. We're going to get through this together. I know we are. Hit that subscribe button, like that video, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. And if you can, bring something next time. And stay with LA for more.